Hey guys, welcome back. Today on The Untidy Artist, I'll be showing you how to make this darling New Year's fairy. I have made a lot of fairies lately, but I really wanted to start out 2018 with a fairy doll. So this doll is all dressed up and ready to go to a fancy party and ready to start the year 2018. Let's grab some supplies and get started. The first thing we're going to need is a flower. I found this beautiful blue flower at Michael's. I love how some of the tips of the petals are this gorgeous purple color, and if I were to ever wear a fancy dress, I would love it to be these colors. Then I've got some thread that we'll be using to dress our doll. Specifically, I have this metallic thread. I bought this at Hobby Lobby, I believe. It is a little bit tricky to work with because it's not really smooth and doesn't really lay flat, but it's gorgeous, so I think it's worth it. I have some beautiful purple sparkly glitter. Then I have some sequins. These are different size sequins that are just really sparkly and silver, and some star-shaped sequins. I actually got these for a different project, and I'm only going to use a couple of them, but I really thought they'd be fun to make a hairpiece for our doll. I have some sharp scissors, and then of course my glue gun set on low. I like using the glue gun set on low because it's much easier to work with the glue when you're not afraid that you're going to burn your skin off. Okay, and last but not least is a fairy doll. So if you're new to making fairies, you'll want to check out my basic fairy doll tutorial where I teach you how to take a wooden bead, a piece of floral wire, and some embroidery floss and twist it into this beautiful little doll. You'll find step-by-step detailed instructions in that tutorial. I have already styled my doll's hair. I've given her a braided updo, and you'll find a tutorial for that on my YouTube channel as well. I will put both links for the basic fairy doll tutorial and for the braided updo in the comments below. You can style your doll's hair however you'd like. I just wanted to give her a fancy updo. Okay, let's get started. So the first step is to grab the thread that you'd like to dress your doll. So we're going to give her a strapless gown, and I'm going to start right underneath her arms and give her a little pair of shorts. So I'm just wrapping it evenly and dressing my doll, and you'll find more detailed instructions on how to dress your doll on my basic fairy doll tutorial. Then I'm grabbing the blue and we're going to give her some gloves. I wanted her to be very elegant, so I just started at the very tip of both arms and I wrapped up just a ways above the elbow and back, and then I'm going to give her a pair of shoes. So once she has her navy blue gloves and her shoes, we're going to grab that lighter blue color, and I'm just using a tiny bit of this, but I really liked how it worked with the other colors and that little pop that it gave the top of her dress. So I'm just wrapping it right underneath both of her arms, and I'm going around about 4 times just to add that little bit of this beautiful periwinkle blue color at the top of her dress. And so I started with a tiny dab of glue and I'm ending with a tiny dab of glue, and then I'm going to trim that thread as close to the glue as possible so we don't see any of that poking out. And your doll is dressed. And you can see how that just added this really pretty blue at the top of her purple dress. Now we're going to grab our flower and we're going to pull it apart. I have noticed that a lot of craft stores are starting to carry their spring flowers right now, and there are so many beautiful flowers to pick from. I also know that they run sales a lot, so watch for those. I really loved the purple in the tips of these petals, and I wanted to make sure that as I was laying the flowers together for her skirt, so once you've got your flower taken apart, you're going to start layering them together like you like them, and then you're going to hold them up to your doll once you've decided how you want them to lay. But I really made sure that the purple was in the front so that we could see the most of that in the front of her dress. So as I was layering them together, I made sure to move the purple petals to the front so that we could see those. Then you're going to cut an X in the middle of the flowers so that we can slide them up and around her waist. So starting with the smallest petals, or the top layers of her skirt, we're going to slide those up and around her waist, arranging them as I go. And once again, I'm making sure that the purple is in the front. There were only a few purple tipped petals, and I wanted them to be kind of the focus of the dress. So continue sliding those up and around her waist, and once you have them all on your doll, you're going to grab your glue gun and you're going to start adding tiny dabs of glue between the layers, arranging the petals so you like that the way that they overlap, And once again, making sure that that purple on the tips of the petals is in the front. So just work slowly. I just tack it together lightly to get it the way that I want it to lay, and then go back through with your glue gun and add more dabs of glue to the front and the back to make sure that her skirt is secure. And we have a dressed fairy doll. Now I'm going to grab this ribbon. I got this during Halloween. They had a whole bunch of craft ribbon on sale, and it all went on discount sale after Halloween. So I got this for really inexpensive, and I'm just using the tiniest bit of this silver. It's almost like rickrack, and I'm just putting a tiny dab of glue in the front, tacking that down, and then I'm wrapping it around the back, tacking it down again, and trimming off the excess. And it just gives us a really pretty polished look to the top of her skirt. Then I'm going to grab my sequins. Once again, we're only using a couple of these. These are the smallest ones, they're just teeny tiny. I loved how they were a little bit iridescent. And then I'm grabbing one of my silver stars, and I'm going to take a tiny dab of glue, and I'm going to put the little teeny tiny sequin on top of the star, right in the middle. And I actually didn't quite get it right in the middle, but you get the idea. So tiny dab of glue. And this is one of those times I'm really happy that I have a glue gun that has a low setting, because it's just a lot easier to work with tiny details like this if you're not having to worry about the glue. So now we have this little piece for her hair, and then I decided to grab my thread. So I'm taking one strand of each of the colors. So I've got the purple, the lighter blue, and the darker blue. And I'm taking probably about 8 inches of it, and I'm going to knot it on one side. So I'm just making sure that it's all hooked together. And what we're going to do is create a headband for our doll. So I'm going to start on the side of the doll, decide which side you want the star to be on. And you can see I kind of just wrap it around loosely to make sure that I like the placement of where it's going to be. And I take my glue gun, add a tiny dab of glue, and then I'm actually going to glue down right above where the knot is, because we'll be trimming the knot off. That's just to hold our thread together. Then you're going to take the thread and you're going to start twisting it. So I just take all 3 strands and I start twisting them, and I'm going to wrap it around her hair. And I really liked this with the bun. I thought it was so beautiful. And then when you get back to the other side, you're going to add another tiny dab of glue and put the rest of the string on the glue to hold that into place, and then trim off both of the ends. And this allowed me to twist those together without them coming unraveled, and it was the easiest way. Then I'm going to get another dab of glue, and I'm going to add that star right over our 2 dabs of glue where we started and ended our headband. And last but not least, I decided that we needed some glitter. So I'm going to grab this really pretty purple sparkly glitter, and I'm going to use my glue gun. You could also use Mod Podge for this part, but I couldn't find my Mod Podge, and I'm only adding a tiny bit of this right on the areas that have the purple in the flower. So just taking my glue gun and adding tiny dabs right over the purple portions of the flower, and then sprinkling the glitter over those. And I find that it works really well to place her on a little piece of paper, and you can spread her legs out into the splits so that she'll lay flat to give you a more even working space for doing this part. You can see I'm just taking a little bit of glue and then sprinkling that glitter over it. We don't want to go crazy with the glitter. We just wanted it to kind of make those little purple portions of her skirt pop and tie together with the top part of her dress. And that's it, guys. You're all set. You have this very elegant, polished, fancy looking doll for 2018. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am excited for the new year and for all of the videos I have plans on making. I would love to hear your thoughts and ideas of videos you'd like to see and fairy dolls you'd like to see. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. That would be awesome. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. And If you want to see more tutorials and be the first to know when I come out with new videos, click on that little bell icon so you'll be notified the second I come out with a new tutorial. And as always, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your support, all of your kind words. I love hearing from you guys, and I am excited for the new year. So happy new year, and we'll see you guys next time.